Okay, so this is just a little update from my previous video about the eye infection that I was saying that I was having. Well, today it's a totally different story. Actually, it's kind of like an eye infection, but it's actually called iritis. Iritis. You know, it's kind of like this disease has various types of names, red eye, you know, all that kind of shit. Iritis, I think it's the proper name of it. So last night, actually, all this kind of shit with the pain and all that kind of shit going on totally escalated to something I've never felt before. I had some serious pain. I was in serious pain. The painkillers didn't really help me at all. So I think maybe I got probably about 3 hours of sleep or something like that. So I decided immediately in the morning, as of this morning, as today, calling the hospital actually and see if I can get an appointment for having my eye, a checkup on my eye to get rid of the eye infection as I thought it was. But you know, after a couple of hours, I'm doing this and doing that. And finally, the doctor, she told me that I has this disease called iritis. Yeah. So, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, so it's not a kind of like just a normal eye infection. Oh no, it's not. So, and it's kind of like there is a bunch of people getting this kind of stuff, but you know, this is not the most commonly eye infection, so to speak. It's more kind of like, I should not say it's rare, because it's not rare, but it's a little bit more rare than, you know, the most common type of eye infection. And this eye infection, this iritis that I have, it's not going to heal by itself. So it must be treated as fast as possible, because if it will not be treated, it will make permanently damage to your eye. It doesn't need to be that way, but it could be damaging your eye. And what I was feeling last night is actually, I got more and more sensitive to light. It was kind of like I couldn't watch into any light source at all. You know, I couldn't even be in a room. This room is kind of like, it's not dark, but it's not light either. I couldn't be in this type of environment. So I really understand that something was terribly wrong here. So that's why I called the hospital, and they said to come there as fast as possible, because if it's not kind of like just a normal eye infection, you need medical treatment immediately. And and that's just about it, actually. Something that is still going on is actually that this disease that I'm having right now, I shouldn't say disease, but you know what I mean. I haven't really started the treatment yet, because I will start the treatment tonight, just before I go to bed. At the hospital, they actually gave me some drips in my eyes to, widen up the lens of my eye. So now in this eye here, I have a super wide lens like this, because the lens and the iris could actually grow together during the healing process, and that cannot happen, because that will make some serious damage to my eye. That's the reason for that. So I actually got some serious medication here to use, very expensive medication as well. I think I need to live on bread and water now for the upcoming 30 days or something like that. well, I'm just kidding. But this medication was fucking expensive. Something else that is kind of like, you know, I made these glasses actually because I couldn't stand the light, and I can still not stand the light. So I made these sunglasses. I actually found laying around somewhere. I have a few of these different models. I just took a pair that fits up on top of my glasses, my glasses. So may look a little bit ridiculous, but you know, this keeps the light away from my eye, and as I'm very sensitive to light right now, I think this is the only solution I come up with. Actually, I can drive around my car also with these glasses on. If I'm taking these ones off, oh, it's not going to be fun. I'm going to be in serious pain. And what's causing the pain with this iritis is actually when the lens is you know, adjusting itself. That's when it's causing the pain. So, you know, everything, you know, a human being is so modern. It's kind of like kind of like, you know, that everything goes by itself. You know, the eye focusing by itself, and you know, all that kind of stuff going on. So I cannot decide when to focus or not focus. That's why it's causing this pain. And also the doctor said that she does not understand, the doctors don't really know when this infection comes to a human being. You know, it could be at the very end of a kind of like a flu or something like that, but it doesn't have to be that way. So there's no explanation to why I got this shit. I have never had any problems with my eyes, except from a bad sight. I'm wearing glasses, as you noticed in my videos for the past 10 years. But you know, there's no more than that. So I'm a little bit curious about now, when I'm about to start my treatment here, my recover of the eye, how this medication will affect the functionality of my eye. This is some very strong antibiotics and all that kind of stuff going on. So I think that I probably will see a little bit less, will be some blurry on this eye and something like that. And also I got a appointment at the doctor's again in 3 days, because this this medication is some really heavy stuff, and it will cause the pressure in the eye a lot higher than my healthy eye. So they gotta keep the pressure in my eye under control, so that the pressure is not too high, because that will also make some major permanently damage to my eye. So this is kind of like a little bit, well, it's simple to treat this kind of, should I call it, disease, but also it's a little bit advanced, I think, because I got some, you know, different things, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, and you know, that in that time and all that kind of shit going on. It's not just like a normal eye infection, just take some drips and it's gone in 3-4 days or something like that. This is a little bit more complicated than that. Also, something that the doctor said she wasn't very happy about is that I've been waiting too long. I've had this for a week, well, on this eye, and that is too long, because in a week's time of period with this iritis, oh, I can't speak, it can actually cause some damage to my eye. Not permanently damaged, but it can make damage that it's a little bit more complicated to treat. So the doctors actually you know, kind of like had a checkup on all, you know, every millimeters of my eye, both the outside and the inside. So they actually put on kind of like a suction cup on top of my eye bulb and use some type of microscope to, you know, kind of like look on everything inside the eye to see exactly what's going on there. And she said that there is no damage to my eye yet. So if I'm starting the treatment today, as she already started the treatment with giving me some drips to helps making the lens as wide as possible, so there will be no damaging going on there. So already I started that treatment, or she did it for me. So to be able to, you know, search with the microscope inside of the eye to see if some shit's going on there. Anyway, I've been blabbing here for kind of like 12 minutes now. I was supposed to make just a 3-4 minute video. So anyway, I'm happy that I know now what's going on. Well, I think these glasses look a little bit ridiculous, a little bit funny maybe, but I don't really care what people think about it. As long as I'm feeling good, we're not getting too much sun or, you know, light in my eye, I'm happy to walk around like this actually. So yeah, that's what's going on, and I'm hoping that the medication, the treatment, will make me feel a little bit better in, you know, just maybe 12 to 48 hours or something like that, you know, perhaps in a couple of days, I would say, because this pain I cannot really describe this pain, you know. It's kind of like, I cannot describe the pain. It's awful. It's kind of like, well, there's no words for describing the pain. I can't stand it, and I'm sure that you can't either. It's kind of like, give me a gun and I will shoot my head off. Poof. Well, you know, you're not supposed to do that, but you know, the feeling when in that moment, in that very second, that's what you think you feel like you want to be doing, or you know, it's kind of like you can't stand it. And that's the point where we're at last night. I was feeling kind of like, holy shit, I can't stand this no more. So yeah, that's what's going on, and I will make you know, I will not make any, you know, I will not make any videos as long as I have this infection in my eye. Maybe updates about this disease going on here, maybe some progress about my healing process and all that kind of shit going on. But I will not make any other videos on that because I'm not feeling too well. This needs to take its time actually with the healing process. So yeah, stay tuned for updates about this iritis, and yeah, well, updates about anything that will be uploaded on my YouTube channel. So yeah, that's what it is, and until next time, take care now. Bye bye then.